It has all come down to this. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to the Final Four of the March Madness $20 to $30 Bourbon Bracket Championship here on the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. My name is Jason C, and if you're looking for the latest in whiskey and bourbon news and reviews, you have found the right channel, so hit that subscribe button below and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm putting out a new video. So we have gone from 16 amazing $20 to $30 bourbons, which I blind tasted in 4 brackets, picked my top 2 from each bracket to make it to the Elite 8. Now, if you don't remember or didn't see the Elite 8, I had someone pour and label those 8 bourbons for me, which I tasted completely blind. So from there, I selected the top 4 from the Elite 8 to move on to today's Final 4. So as I mentioned, the Final 4 will be tasted completely blind. Just like last time, I had a buddy come over, pour the Final 4 that I had picked based on the letters that I picked, and he knew what they were, I don't. So the Final 4 that were selected were letters A, B, E, and F. So today, we find out who the Final 4 is, but out of these 8 bourbons, who will be crowned champion of the $20 to $30 March Madness Bracket Championship. Alright guys, so before we get started, I want to thank everyone for supporting the channel and watching the March Madness Bracket Championship. It's been so much fun to do with everyone. I got a lot of great feedback, people really getting into it, doing their own blind challenges at home. So what I will do at the end is name my top 2 and then pick a definitive champion from those 2. After that, we will open the envelope with the results in it, and together we will go through the big reveal and see who is the champion. So let's get started. All right, number 1, let's go for it. Definitely got some really nice caramel corn sweetness on the nose. Now I have started to get a little bit familiar with maybe some of these, just tasting them throughout the month. So some scents are becoming familiar, but I can't remember from the Elite 8 what these could be because they were all very different. So on this nose, there's some really beautiful corn caramel sweetness. Little burst of a cinnamon there. A lot of orange peel on this one I'm getting. A lot of citrus notes here. Definitely a little bit of an alcohol punch there, a tiny bit. All right, let's go in for a sip. Here we go. Cheers. Oh, that is good. That is nice long finish there. Orange, spice, little burst of a little bit of a nutty character there too. Well, that was really good on the first sip. We'll go for another one. Here we go. Yeah, that one's, oh yeah. That nuttiness, that really nice nutty characteristic is staying true there. It's really, really kind of commanding the palate. Really on the finish, there's a beautiful burst of citrus right in the front of the palate. You're getting a spiciness to it. You're getting a really nice mouthfeel. Wow, one in the Final 4 here is coming out swinging already. Let's go for another sip here. Yeah, just the slightest bit of a like a roasted peanut characteristic right on the very end. But this is all citrus and spice up front. Really, really good. I'm gonna take a couple notes here. All right, let's check out number 2. Here we go. Completely different nose. Completely different. This is just chocolate, cherry, oak. Like caramel Snickers bar-ish on the nose. Wow, really sweet too. You're getting a lot of caramel, some corn sweetness in there too. But I mean, the caramel and the chocolate note on here is very, very strong. A lot of sweet oak character to it. Really, really nice on the nose. Very beautiful sweet oak flavor. The chocolate, there's a hint of a cherry note in there too. This one has a beautiful nose, so really like the nose on this one. All right, let's go in for a taste. Cheers. Yeah, that sweet oak flavor really translates. Really nice on the palate. The chocolate, the cherry note, you're getting a little bit of a hint of it, but it's not as prevalent as it was on the nose. Let me go for another sip here. Oh, second sip was way better. Now the caramel, the chocolate, the cherry is really coming to the forefront, finishing with a really nice sweet oak flavor. I would say this isn't as a high proof as number 1. Number 1 really left a long lingering finish. This one isn't giving you that long lingering finish. Number 1 had the really big spice kick, a lot of citrus, a little bit of a nutty character. good amount of proof to it, but this one is staying sweeter. You're getting some really nice chocolate cherry, and the sweet oak flavor on that one is just really good. Going for one more sip. That's good. A pretty good proof to that one. It seems like it's lighter, like way lighter than that one. Not really sure. The proof on that one is kind of hard to hit, kind of hard to nail because of the, I'm coming off number one, which definitely had a good proof to it. But this one's coming off a little bit lighter, but the sweet flavors you're getting up front are really, really nice. So I'm going to take some notes. All right, let's go on for number three. Let's see what we get. This one definitely has a much more pronounced peanut characteristic to it. Some honey. Definitely some caramel, some oak in there. It's got a you could get a little bit of a rye kick in there too, but it's very soft. Yeah, there's definitely a pronounced honey characteristic, some of that roasted peanut. All right, let's go for a sip. Here we go. Ooh, that one's really sweet. Way different from two. It's a different type of sweetness. This one is chocolate, cherry, chocolate cherry, sweet oak. This one is coming off as more of a vanilla, almost like a peanut butter cup going on in this glass. Really good. Let's go for another sip. The second sip was even better on that one. That one brought some better balance on the second sip. There's definitely a little bit more of a proof to this one now. Even more than the second one. The proof on this one is making itself to be a little bit more known. It's got a great balance. The sweetness, the oak character, the proof, all working together really nicely. Let's go for another sip. Definitely get some, you're still getting a good amount of that caramel sweetness, some nice oak flavor in there. That peanut characteristic is translating to the finish. Definitely a little bit more prevalent than number one here. Number one was just all spice and citrus flavor, but this one is really bringing the a little bit more of a balanced palate to it. Definitely over two as well on the finish. Two is probably the most unique I've had with the flavor profile, but the finish, the overall balance of number three is kind of, this one it's bringing a better balance than the other two. So let me take some notes. All right, last one, number four. Here we go. Cheers. A little bit more. This one has way more cinnamon on the nose. A little bit of a cherry note there too. A lot of vanilla. Ton of vanilla, actually. This one's a little bit more darker on the nose. It's got some dark brown sugars in there too. Some cinnamon, some cherry. Not getting much of a proof on this one. Really, too much. It's all sweet and oak, and that cinnamon flavor is really coming through strong on this one. There's some other baking spices in there. You may be getting a little bit of a clove note in there too. Really good. All right, let's go in for the palate. Here we go. Cheers. Oh, that one's really good too. Waiting for the proof. Yeah, the proof is there. Hitting. That one's coming through with some really nice cinnamon cherry notes. Really good balance on that one. Let me go for another quick sip. That one was really good in the second sip. That roasted vanilla caramel character with that little bit of hint of cinnamon that's kind of sticking around the back of the palate. That one's really good, and the proof is lasting too. It wasn't at first, and all of a sudden I just waited a second, and then the proof kind of settled in. Let's go for another sip. Yeah, I'm liking that one. That one has a really nice balance to it. Really good. Man, this is going to be tough. All four of them have really strong attributes to each one. I need one more sip of this one before we move on. Here we go. Yeah. That one's staying very consistent too. The cinnamon, the cherry, that spiciness to it, the proof is really making itself to be known. Still not as strong as number one. I would say on par with number 3 here, where the proof point is. All right, guys, so we have tasted all the final 4 for the first time. What we're going to do is take a halftime like I normally do. We're going to come back, taste them in reverse order, see if they change a little bit, see if one of these bourbons brings a little bit different of a flavor profile than I tasted the first time. See if anything else sticks out so I can make my final picks for the grand champion of the $20 to $30 bracket championship. And together we will open the results. See you in a few. All right, guys, we are back, and it's time to taste these one more time, reverse order, see if anything sticks out a little bit differently, and we're going to pick our champion. So here we go. We're going to start off now with number 4. This one just really has such a really great bourbon nose. I mean, when you think a quintessential bourbon nose, this one definitely has it. It's got caramel, it's got vanilla, it's got oak. All right, let's go in for a quick sip. So that one's really good. It's really bringing a really nice balance to it. I'm getting a nutty characteristic there too now. Let me go for another sip here. Cheers. Yeah, this one has great balance. Yeah, there's a definite nuttiness now, more on the finish here that I was getting before. You're still getting some cinnamon and a little bit of a cherry note there too. That was really good. Really nice balance. Good finish. I really like number 4 a lot. That was really good. All right, quick sip of water. All right, let's go to number 3 now. Let's see what we get. Yeah, this one's got the quintessential bourbon nose. It's got a great kick of vanilla, a lot of caramel in there, some cherry. There's some cinnamon in here too. This one's got more of a spiciness to it than number 4 does, which I really like. So let's go for a sip. Here we go. Yeah, that one's really good too. That one's very balanced as well. Definitely giving you a good proof point to it. A little bit of a nuttiness character to it too, as I mentioned before. Oh man, now I'm kind of thrown off here of thinking what it could be. Oh man, that one's really good. Let me go for another sip. Oh yeah, great spiciness to it. Cinnamon cherry, a little bit of that nuttiness characteristic to it, that honey, that peanut. Really good flavor profile on that one. I love the balance of both of these. Both of these are really coming through with some great flavor, some great balance. Go for a sip of water. All right, let's go to number 2 here. Here we go. Definitely the most chocolatey caramel on the nose of all of them. A lot of sweet oak on there, as I mentioned before. This one just has a really delicious nose. The caramel on this is just off the charts. Very creme brulee, like very vanilla custard, kind of a deep dark brown sugar caramel note to it. That one's really nice on the nose. All right, to the palate. Here we go. Yeah, that's really good. You get that burst of sweetness and those flavors right on the front of the palate. Just the finish on this one is just lacking just a little bit compared to the other ones. Man, if the finish on this was just a little bit stronger. All right, let's have another sip. Here we go. Wow, so this one now is oh man. This is tough. So coming off the first one, this seemed tame. But now coming off of this one, you're tasting the proof more on this one, and it's definitely offering a little bit better of a balance. One more sip here. Yeah, that chocolate note, the cherry note, oh man, that sweet oak note on that one is so good. Okay, so now the second sip though, the proof isn't sticking around, which I like. So, man, if that one just had a little bit more of a kick to it on the end, I don't know. But the flavor profiles in that one are really unique, really delicious. All right, I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. All right, back to number 1 now. Here we go. Cheers. That's really good. That one is cinnamon. That's a ton of cinnamon and spice. Almost like a baking spice to it. Really punching through. Again, I'm still getting a big orange zest kick to this one. Let's go for another sip. A really nice spiciness to that one. The orange zest. The finish on that one just sticks around. This is going to be tough. All of them bring pretty unique flavors. If I had to say that there was two that were pretty similar, 3 and 4 have similar experiences, different flavor profiles, but it gives you a similar experience. Number 2 is completely different in the flavor profile. This one is very, very chocolatey and sweet oak forward. This one brings a ton of spiciness to it. Man, it's going to be really tough to kind of pick a top 2. Let me go for one more sip on number 1 here. Number 1 I really like. I'm not getting as many... For me, the proof point is there, but I'm just not getting as many flavors I'm getting out of the other 3. But the finish on this one is incredible. It's spicy, it's sweet. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit, I'm going to deliberate a little bit, I'm going to come back. We are going to open the results envelope once I rank my top 2 and find out who will be the $20 to $30 Bourbon Bracket March Madness champion. All right, guys, welcome back. It is time to find out who is going to be crowned champion in the March Madness $20 to $30 Bracket Championship. I have sat, I have deliberated, I have gone back and forth, and I have my rankings here. But it's time to find out who's going to be crowned grand champion. So, I'm going to give you my rankings here from these 4. And then we're going to open the envelope and find out exactly what's in each glass. It's the exciting time, so here we go. So, if I had to rank these, in 4th place, I'm going to bring number 2 in 4th place. This one was very unique compared to the other 4, but the finish on this one was just lacking for me. It didn't have that really great balance. It had amazing sweet flavor profiles up front, that chocolate, that cherry, really good up front, but the finish for that one compared to the other 3 was just lacking. So number 2 goes to 4th place. So for 3rd place, I'm going to put number 4 actually in 3rd place. Number 4 had really great balance, really good flavor profile, but the more I sipped on it, just the tamer it got, and it wasn't staying consistent enough. When I first tried that one was really good, and it definitely brought all those quintessential bourbon notes that I love, including the caramel, the oak, that a little bit of a peanut flavor, good finish on it. But the more I sipped on it, it got a little bit flat for me. So I put that one in number 3. All right, so for my 2nd place bourbon, I am gonna throw number 1 into 2nd place. This is the one I was really deliberating over. This one had a really delicious flavor profile, a lot of citrus, a good amount of proof to it, a good finish, spicy, but it just didn't offer all the bourbon notes that I really like to taste in a bourbon. It was so spicy almost, it was kind of overpowering the other sweetness of flavors that I like in a bourbon. So that's where this glass came in. Number 3 here really offered that proof, sweetness, oak, some cherry, some cinnamon, a little bit of a nuttiness characteristic there. So that's why this one, for me, was the most well-rounded out of all 4. And this is the one that I'm putting as the grand champion in this bourbon bracket shootout. So glass number 3 is moving on to number 1. So it is time to find out what's in each of these glasses. So here we go. Here are the results that my buddy put together. Let's open the envelope. Here they are. All right, I'm opening it. So, all right, so the letters that I mentioned in the beginning that were in the final 4 were A, B, F, and E. So let's find out what was eliminated, and let's find out what was here in the final 4. So that's A, that's B, F, E. So the ones that were eliminated were C, Jim Beam Distillers Cut was eliminated. So that one's out. D, surprise, Buffalo Trace was eliminated. So Buffalo Trace was also eliminated in the Elite 8. Let's go to the next one here. G, which was Four Roses Small Batch, that was eliminated in the Elite 8. And lastly was letter H, which was Eagle Rare, which was eliminated in the Elite 8. Holy cow. Oh my God, some heavy hitters here. So, as a recap, eliminated from the Elite 8, we had Eagle Rare, Four Roses Small Batch, Buffalo Trace, and the Jim Beam Distillers Cut. So, if you guys are doing the math here, the ones that were left in this 4 were Early Times Bottled and Bond, Wild Turkey 101, Knob Creek Small Batch, and Old Grandad 114. All right, so let's get into the 4th place letter here. Let's find out what number 4 was here. This was letter A. This is my 4th place from the final 4. And letter A is Early Times Bottled in Bond. Wow, incredible. Early Times made it really far through to the final 4. Early Times is a delicious bourbon. Just compared to the other 3, just the finish was just lacking a little bit compared to the other 3. All right, so Early Times gets 4th place. 3rd place, letter E. Letter E is Knob Creek Small Batch. Whoa, okay. Knob Creek Small Batch makes it to number 3. 3rd place, absolutely delicious. I am so pleased that Knob Creek made it to the final 4. It really is a delicious bourbon. All right, so it is time to find out what my top 2 were. What is left here is Wild Turkey 101 and Old Grandad 114. Both were delicious. Oh man, this is crazy. Let's find out what they are. So the 2nd place glass here was letter F, which means letter F is, you ready? Old Grandad 114, which makes Wild Turkey 101 my number 1 seed, the champion of the March Madness $20 to $30 Bourbon Bracket Championship. Here it is, everyone. Wild Turkey 101 wins the championship. Wow, after all that, Wild Turkey 101, my number 1 seed, comes in on top. That's incredible. All right, guys, so as a quick recap, we have the 4th place bourbon here, which is the Bottled and Bond from Early Times. Just an amazing flavor profile here. This one I can get for about $23, $24. Just such a great value here. So much flavor. If you like Woodford Reserve, that Old Forester type of flavor profile, this is a must pick up. Absolutely delicious. Number 3 was the Knob Creek, as we mentioned. Knob Creek has that nutty flavor to it. Really great balance. Such a great buy for the money. Number 2 was that Old Grandad 114. If you like a higher proof bourbon, you can get it here for between $20 and $30 in this dram. It has spiciness. It has a citrus, a really good citrus kick to it. Really great bourbon. And then number 1, as I picked here, my number 1 seed was Wild Turkey 101. An amazing balance for the price. There are some great bourbons out there for the money. In the age of bourbons that are coming out that are over $100, $200, $300, you know, it's good to know that you can get all of these 8 offer such great flavor profiles. I would encourage you to go out, try any of these. You're not breaking the bank. You are finding great, delicious, quality bourbons between that $20 and $30 range. So this was very eye-opening. It was a learning experience for me, and I hope you guys learned something too. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching this March Madness $20 to $30 Bourbon Bracket Championship here on the Mash and Drum. I can't thank you enough for the support, and I got a lot of comments, and I hope you guys try these bourbons. There are so many, especially in the Elite 8, that are so good and that offer something for everyone. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button below. Please hit that like button. Please find me on Instagram and please find me on Twitter. Let me know what you think about Wild Turkey 101 and the other 3 that came out into the final 4. And as I always say, it is not about the whiskey, it is the people you share it with. So cheers to March Madness. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.